Let's see. So a lot of people, because a lot of people say women can't make, good video games. All right, let's see. Let's see how good these games are. Do they appeal to you guys, chat? Let me know if they appeal to you guys.
My audience is made up of women. Here, if this helps at all, the ESA, or Entertainment Software Association, reported back in June that women make up just about half of all gamers in the US at 47%.
Is it Cooking Mama?
Does that help at all? Okay, drum roll.
It's not Cooking Mama.
8.8%. 8.8% of you are women. I always kind of thought that.
Oh, interesting. And I think she has a higher percentage than I do, to be honest, when it comes to women. What's my percentage? Let me see. Let me take a look at this real quick. Let me take a look at this. My percentage of females is... Oh, it has increased, actually, surprisingly enough. We are actually at a 3.0%. And then we have 96% as males, but we have 3.0 as females. We just gotta increase the females. That's all we gotta do. We gotta increase the estrogen in these neck of the woods, okay? All right? We gotta increase the estrogen here. We got to. I wanna see... By the end of next year, I want to see at least 10%. That's my goal, if we can reach 10% anyways.
That my videos might get at least slightly more female viewers since I'm also a woman, but no. Now, I do love you guys out there too, but looking at these...
I like you, Co, but I ain't doing HRT free. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not even going to there. 3.0 cap? Your mom is capping.
Stats had me wondering why. I guess probably something to do with the genres and games that I cover or whatever, but then I started to think about the developers themselves. I was able to come up with a few women-made games off the top of my head, but about half of this list completely surprised me, and I had to do a bit more digging than I expected. So today I want to go over my findings with you, games that were made either...
Dude, I saw this game. I'm very interested in this game. I saw this game. I'm hoping if it actually is made by a woman developer, it'd be pretty cool.
Completely by women or had them in lead roles. And before anyone starts typing down in the comments, I don't care who makes my games, I just want them to be good. Shh, this isn't
facts. 100% facts. You already deserve a subscriber because of that, Thank you. Thank you, no caps.
About you. The first one was a huge surprise, actually. Released into early access a few months ago, it's a speed climbing horror game. White Knuckle, anyone?
Speed climbing horror game?
Is the lead dev on this one, and she's the one who originally posted the game's demo on itch back in October of last year. The game now has another artist and a sound designer working on it, and together they make up Dark Machine Games. In Holly's own words, you can probably thank me for why you fell to your death and for the overall tone of White Knuckle. And fall to my death, I did.
Huh.
I gave the game's demo another...
Before you reach 10% female demographic, you need a female regular here? I do have regular females that come hang out with me. What are you talking about?
Shot for this video, and it ain't easy. Aside from the usual managing your stamina and planning your route type stuff that you'd expect from a game like this, the trickiest part for me was actually the item usage. You can pick one item up in each hand, but if your hands are full, then you can't climb. This issue can be solved just by putting the stuff in your pockets, but then you gotta hang on with one hand, reach in your pocket with the other. It's a whole thing. Definitely a unique experience though. In September, White Knuckle will be getting its first major update, the Abyss update, which adds a new region, presumably called the Abyss, along with new items, NPCs, perks, and other goodies, so it might just be the perfect time for anyone who's interested to jump in.
Yeah, if anyone who's interested into speedrunning, if you want to try a speedrunning horror game, you can try it out. I can start building your female regular by not stalking them at first sight. You guys keep gaslighting everybody, okay? I don't want to hear it from you, okay? All right? Shut up, okay, chat? All right? Shut the fuck up. God, men.
Look how sick this game is.
I like the art style in this game. I'm not gonna lie, to be honest. The art style is pretty cool.
Speaking of punishing games, welcome to Prison of Husks. It also has a demo you can play, though the full game hasn't been released yet, but this one focuses on slow methodical actions rather than
because
quick
they got things they need to do.
Your soul has found
You
its
also
new
had
vessel
art
in the
here
Lithos
24/7.
Plateau, a heavenly afterlife painted by the hand of a pure heart. Yet all that's left is a desolate landscape that's crumbling beneath your feet. Prison of Husks started off as a portfolio project in 2023 by Tammy Morley of Glasshead Dolls, with the goal of creating a nostalgic, esoteric fantasy game that inspires feelings of wonder, whimsy, and melancholy. That definitely rings true. Last year, full production on the project began, and the studio hired 2 other contractors to help with art and animation. If you've played any indie Souls-likes, then you probably know what to expect here, with a big focus on that interconnected level design we all know and love. I'm an especially huge fan of this shot, like I need to explore this place right now. But alas, the demo only lets us roam around this castle. Still a great time. The game just got a new gameplay trailer as part of Gamescom last week, so I'm hoping to hear more news from Glasshead Dolls soon.
Souls-like, I think this is like what, retro PS2 style Souls-like game, right? I know there's a genre for this. I beg the difficulty is made for women. Okay, buddy.
Next, we have a developer who goes by the name of Emiss, formerly Faxstock, who you may know from the gloomy Metroidvania Rusted Moss, but she's also got a ton of other really cool projects that I'll go over briefly. Prior to Rusted Moss, Emiss made a lot of platformer and top-down action games like Tower, a small action game where you're tasked with ascending a large tower, and Rev, which is about hunting down prey as part of your fox pack in some overgrown ruins. Then in 2023, Faxstock, Happy Squared, and Sunny Days, 3 ladies, all released Rusted Moss. I haven't played it yet, it's on my list for sure, you know how that goes, but it's a twin-stick shooter Metroidvania about swinging around and blasting your way through a bunch of strange creatures and machines. The game's final update actually just came out 5 months ago, so I'd imagine that Emiss is now able to fully devote her attention to her next project, Flooded Burials. She's making this one alongside Danny, or Nostalgia Tree, who is an amazing pixel artist that you should definitely go follow. And good news, this game does have a demo. It's obviously gorgeous, we knew that much, and it's also quite snappy and flowy once you get into it. Basically, you're exploring this tower that's sunken into the water, which you then need to drain by completing levels
Holy shit, dude, that looks crazy.
Heading further and further down. And it's got tons of combat, platforming, puzzles, and of course the mysteries of this ancient place that you slowly uncover along with our protagonist, Farah. Definitely go check out Emilys's page if any of these games speak to you. There are a lot of great ones for action-y platformer fans. Now, I do love myself a Metroidvania, and Studio Pixelpunk has got 2 of them that look fantastic. Unsighted, which came out back in 2021, and Abyss X Zero, which is currently in production. The team is made up of Fernanda Diaz and Tiani Pixel, and 2 very important beta testers. Unsighted is set in the ruined city of Arcadia.
I really like the game graphics from, like, say, the 2000s. They just have a certain look to them, and I find it nostalgic. I've been seeing, like, there's been, like, a lot of, like, games that have been doing the well, not like the 2000s, but, like, the retro PS2 style graphics.
After a big
but with, like, more modernized controls,
war.
Of course.
It seems to be more of a combat-focused Metroidvania with tons of loadout and weapon options.
Oh, can you play with co-op or
however you like to play. As an automaton, your life force is gradually draining away, so you need to spend your time wisely in order to save the right people and finish your ultimate quest. Abyss X Zero is a 3D Metroidvania, and let me tell you, this thing is so up my alley.
Dude, this looks cool.
Almost unbelievable. 3D Metroidvanias, for some reason, are still pretty rare, but titles like Superland and now Super World, Pseudo Regalia, and Metro Gravity have all really pushed the bounds of what they can be. This one's got 2 different playable characters who are ultimately fated to battle each other, Codename A and Codename Z. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that's where Abyss and Zero come from in the title. But each one's got a different set of skills to use and weapons, and every time I see anything about this game, I get immensely more excited. Both Tiani and Fernanda are posting tons of cool behind the scenes looks at the game over on Blue Sky if you want to do a little deep dive for yourself.
Oh no, not on Blue Sky. Oh no. Looks pretty cool though, I'll be honest with you. I'd be curious how the game is in general.
But if you're not about all that fast-paced stuff and prefer narrative-heavy games, well, then you probably already know who this next developer is. But if I can get just one more new person on board here, then I think I've done my job. Blacktabby Games, responsible for the masterpieces called Scarlet Hollow and Slay the Princess, is a two-person team made up of Abby and Tony Howard. Abby does all the art and her work is incredible, which is quite obvious if you've been watching this video. I played Scarlet Hollow earlier this year and it was such a fantastic experience. I don't know how long it's been, honestly, since I was hooked on a
I assume
game
this is like a visual
like
novel
this,
game,
and
question
there
mark?
are still, I think, 3 chapters to go since the game is still in early access. Slay
Yeah.
the Princess is the smaller game they'd been working on during Scarlet Hollow's development, and I think we all know that people really, really liked that one. Blacktabby Games is at the absolute top of the narrative horror game mountain, and I'm so stoked to see what they have in store for us with the rest of Scarlet Hollow. I guess since we're doing horror, we should talk about the big one, Signalis. Created by Yuri Stern and
Wait, I know this game. Whoa, it was created by... Damn, I didn't know that actually. I know this one.
Barbara Whitman at Rose Engine. This is pretty much the indie survival horror game of the decade, the century. It's the first one I played after finally breaking into the genre with Resident Evil, and it is quite unsettling. Don't even get me started on these 3D first-person sections.
I heard this was really good. All I heard, because I remember one of my friends playing it, and he actually really enjoyed this game.
Genius and terrifying. Even more bonus points, since the game came out on my birthday 3 years ago. I don't have anything to say about Signalis that hasn't already been said 1,000 times over, so just go play it. And it doesn't matter what type of game or genre Rose Engine dives into next, I will be there. Okay, there's one more game left. It's not out yet, but Neverway looks to be this really unique mashup of life sim RPG and spooky, creepy horror. It'll be the first game by Cold Blood Inc., although you may recognize a few faces here from the team behind Celeste, Pedro and Heidi, and Isadora made an entire game engine just for this, so there's that. Everything we've seen from Neverway so far is instantly gripping. It's all drenched with this super thick melancholy and dread. Like the kind of farming game we've seen countless times at this point, but the complete opposite of those happy, bubbly worlds. Our protagonist Fiona decides to start her life over on a farm, and slay some monsters on the side, all while this other dimension called Neverway is slowly leaking into the real world and bringing about unimaginable horrors. There's a lot to unpack here, and I'll probably make a full video on all the details eventually, but this is one that you've got to have on your wish list.
Yep,
So those were all
I
the
got this
girly
one.
games I
This
had
one
for
piqued
you
my
today.
interest.
As always, please share your own favorites in the comments because I couldn't fit all of them into this video, unfortunately. Alright, that's it from me. Time to go play Silksong.
Oh yeah, freaking Silk Song, of course, which I'll probably will never play it anytime soon though. But yeah, this is one of the games that I'm pretty excited. I think this game was pretty interesting that piqued my interest. I've heard great things about Signalis. This one was very interesting though. This one looks pretty. It's a roguelike, 3D roguelike game, which is not bad. I wouldn't mind trying that out. This one, well, it just kind of really depends what you guys think about the what is it, the prison Husk or so? This game in general, the retro style Souls-like game. And then White Knuckles, of course, if you're interested into how do I say this, into speedrunning horror type of genre, I guess, you know. That's not bad. There are some games that I'm interested in. Definitely Unsighted. And then Neverway. Neverway and Unsighted are probably like the two that kind of like piqued my interest personally, so not too bad.